Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do a quick first look at the LG G6. Now, full disclaimer, shout out to the homies at LG for hitting me off with this one early. This is not a review unit, it's a first look device. So I can't do a full review on this because some of the stuff is subject to change. But what I will do is, we'll take a look at the software, the hardware, the camera. We'll go over some of the features, and I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like so far. Now, when the retail version comes out, I'll buy one of those, and we'll do an official unboxing and an official real review. All right, so let's get into the specs first. Now, as far as pricing and availability, can't talk about that yet because I don't know it. Now, this is going to be a GSM and CDMA phone, so it's going to be available for Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. Now, for the design, you got a unibody design with a bunch of glass. Now, y'all know how I feel about the glass phones. I absolutely love them. This is the best built LG phone yet. You got Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back and Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. Now, for the display, you got a 5.7-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 1440 by 2880. Now, that's 564 for the PPI Patrol. Now, the phone is IP68 dust and water resistant. You got your always on display, one of the best features from the G5, made it to the G6. Now, as far as the OS, we run an Android 7.0 Nugget. Shout out to the Nugget boys, and shout out to everybody with the HTC 10. Welcome to the Nugget boys. Now, for the processor, you got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 with the Adreno 530 GPU. Now, you do have expandable memory, so you could drop a micro SD card slot right up in there, up to 256 gigs. For storage, it comes in two versions. You got 32 gigs or 64 gigs. Both of them got 4 gigs of RAM. Now, here's one of the best features about this phone, the camera. On the rear, you got dual cameras. So you got one 13 megapixel camera, that's f1.8, and you got another 13 megapixel camera, that's f2.4, laser autofocus, and LED flash. Now, you got the wide angle lens camera, and in my opinion, after using this phone for a couple of hours, that's the best feature of this phone yet, the wide angle lens camera. Now, you can shoot video in 4K, and on the front, you got a 5 megapixel camera, f2.2, and 1080p video. Now, here's something important that you got to mention, headphone jack. You got a headphone jack. Now, why do I mention that? I just pre-ordered the HTC U, the Ultra, no headphone jack. So some of these new phones coming out with no headphone jacks, I really hate that. Shout out to LG for leaving the headphone jack on deck. Now, this phone has some region-specific features, and we'll talk about that in a second. And one of them is the Hi-Fi DAC. Now, if you're in the Asian market, you're going to get the Hi-Fi DAC, the same one you had on your V20. If you're in the USA, you're not getting the Hi-Fi DAC, but you're getting wireless charge. So that's new to LG G series. Now you're getting wireless charge. So if it's up to me, if I had to choose between wireless charge and Hi-Fi DAC, I'll definitely take wireless charge, especially now that you got quick wireless charge. That's a benefit for me. Most of the time when I'm using headphones, I'm using Bluetooth headphones anyway, so the Wi-Fi DAC, not that important. Now, you got USB Type-C for the connection. You got a fingerprint sensor on the rear. Now, here's something else that's region-specific, the colors. Comes in 3 different colors. You got Mystic White, Astro Black, and Ice Platinum. Now, depending on where you live at is which color is going to be available. So far, I'm loving the black. Now, one of the major changes to the LG G6 from the G5 is no removable battery. Now, you got a big, giant 3,300 milliamp battery that you can't take out, but you do got Quick Charge 3.0, so that kind of makes up for the difference. Now, another region-specific feature is the FM radio. We'll see when it comes out for the US. Does it have it? Or does it not have it? All right, so now let's take a look at the build. Build quality, in my opinion, this is the best built LG G series yet. And if you don't believe me, let's run down some of the last versions. Here's the LG G3. Now, this one was cool, but it had that plastic back, so it didn't feel that premium. Take a look at the LG G4. Same thing with the plastic back, didn't feel premium at all. If you had the leather back, it felt a little bit better, but you still had these corny buttons on the back, just like the G3. Nobody liked that. And look at that big giant bezel on the front. and the square design, the G4 wasn't that great with the build. G5. Now this one definitely had more of a premium feel to it, but everybody hated that gap on the bottom, and everybody, including me, hated that camera hump. This was the ugliest phone yet. Actually, this won my Ugly Phone of the Year award, but it was cool. Now let's take a look at the G6. They hit this one right out of the park. Square design, flush flat camera on the back, buttons on the side instead of the back. This is a win. Plus the glass panels, the subtle curves, and I gotta say this one time, feels so good in the hands. Ladies, you know the procedures. Here's your volume up and down on one side. This kind of looks like an iPhone with that antenna, or kind of looks like the Pixel. Real nice. There's your dual cameras on the back, fingerprint sensor, LED flash. Here's your SIM tray on the other side, 5-megapixel camera in the front, headphone jack. All right, pause, headphone jack. Microphone on the top, speakers on the bottom, USB Type-C, another speaker. Premium feel, loving it. Got your always on display. And I said this before and I'll say it again. When it comes to the always on display battles between the LG and Samsung, the LG always on display is way better. You get more access to more notifications, and when you get your alerts, you get a big pop-up of that alert. So the LG display, the always on display, best one on the market so far. Now let's take a look at some of the features. Fingerprint sensor on the back, does work. Okay, now this could be software related, but it's not the quickest in the world so far. All right, definitely not as fast as the Hawaii phones. All right, shout out to Hawaii. Look out, Zerks. Watch that flop. But it does work. Not the fastest in the world. Besides that wide angle lens, which I'm about to show y'all, the second best feature of this phone is the display. Now, we can't call this bezel-less, but there's basically no bezel on this phone. Now, if you want to see how dope this is, let me show you something real quick. All right, I'm gonna show y'all something that kind of blew my mind. Let me pull up my internet browser. Now, check this out. Here's my favorite Android phone out right now, the Pixel XL. And here's the G6. The Pixel XL, this is a 5.5-inch display. The G6, 5.7. All right, so the G6 is a bigger display, right? It looks bigger. But check this out. Put the phone side by side. Why is the Pixel bigger? All right, the Pixel is a taller phone with a smaller display. All right, taller phone with a smaller display. That's not a win. Look how much more display you got on the G6. So far, out of my likes and dislikes, I like the display. It just looks so dope and it's so big. And the camera. Now, when you put this in portrait mode, look how much more of screen real estate you got. This is dope. Now, when you're using your split screen, you just got more room to work with. Now, with this bezel-less design, one more feature that works dope is with the camera. Now, let me pull up the camera real quick. Like I said, this is just a first look, so we're not going to go through everything. Let me show you a shot that I took with this camera, and you'll see why I say that wide angle lens is so dope. Let me pull up my gallery. All right, now here's the camera UI. Let's take a quick picture of Zerks. Let's see if this force closes. Now, I've been having some force closes with this so far. Let's see. Okay. So far, nice display. Beautiful. But check this out. Now, when I'm taking pictures with this extra wide display, now my gallery is on the side. So you can see the pictures that you took without having to go through that little bubble on the side. Now, let me show you why the wide angle lens is the Snapchat dream right here. Look at this picture. All right, matter of fact, let me turn the lights down real quick so you can see this even better. Let me turn this down. All right, Zerks, don't get scared, Zerks. Don't get scared. All right, now check this out. I was sitting at my computer table and I took a picture. Now, I didn't move 1 inch. All I did was activate the secondary camera and look at the difference. Now, this is just taking a picture. Don't move. Activate the wide angle lens and look how much more you can see in the picture. That is so dope. Let me turn the lights back on. All right, so let's look at that one more time because I love this feature so much. This is regular, wide angle. So hot. All right, so let's look at the camera interface real quick. Look stock. Now this is regular. Let's hit wide angle. Look at that. You're going to love that feature. Now you got your standard modes, auto, panorama, 360, food, pop out, snap, slow-mo, time-lapse. We'll go over all that stuff in the full review. Now, one more thing. Let's take a look at the sound. Or let's take a listen to the sound. All right, my usual sound test. And the display. Full screen with that bezel-less display. Looks dope. Listen to the sound. The sound is pretty good. Now you got that bottom firing speaker, but it sounds pretty good. That no bezels is so hot for watching videos. Oh, I forgot, got YouTube red. Oh, stop trolling. All right. Overall, I can't even say fresh out the box because I don't got the box. Overall, in hand, the G6 so far, this is a go. Now, would I take this over the G5? The answer is yes, because of the build quality. You got wireless charge now, no camera hump. You got the same wide angle lens, even though it's an upgraded camera. Now, we'll talk about that more in the full review, but your wide angle lens pictures have more clarity and they're going to look better, and I'll show y'all some test shots. Now, I haven't done any daytime and nighttime shots yet, but we'll get into that during the full review. This one feels so good in the hands. I'm loving this. Anyway, a little drop test. Let's do a little drop test. There we go. Anyway, this is just a first look. If there's anything specific y'all want me to cover when I get the official version, leave it in the comment section and we'll definitely do that. Now, when the original one comes out, I'm definitely buying it. So we'll do the official unboxing and the official review. And y'all know how I do. I'm going to tear it to shreds. Everything that I don't like, I'm throwing out there. And everything that I do like, I'm giving credit to it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. All right, 2 things I got to show y'all before we get out of here. Number 1, I'm such a noob. I keep forgetting. You got to take the plastic off of the fingerprint sensor on the back of the G phones. All right, so check this out. There's a little piece of plastic over the fingerprint sensor. Now, I forgot about this on the last time, and I was complaining about the fingerprint sensor. But it's a little piece of plastic. There we go. Get that plastic off. Now let's try the fingerprint sensor again. Oh, much faster. There we go. All right, so I did the noob move. Forgot to take the plastic off. Now the second thing I want to show y'all, which is new with the G6. Now the phone is water resistant. All right, so you can drop your phone in the water, take it out, and you're still good to go. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a major go. Now, when Apple iPhones start coming out with waterproofing, all the other companies, that got to be the gold standard now. Once Apple got it, you know it got to be mandatory. Waterproofing on your LG G6. Now you can take it to the beach and ride out like a boss. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the new stream on Sundays. Y'all already know, Stream Gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, special shout out to everybody following me on Snapchat, Flossy_Carter, that's where I'm at. And a special shout out to the notification squad. I see y'all in the comment section early. #salute. Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss. I'm out. Deuces. Spot, one to beam up.